injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
One thing that I hope for the future in terms of ending gender-based violence is that we're no longer going to turn on the television and see that some powerful man has made a career of systematically oppressing and violating women.
What I hope for the future as it pertains to domestic violence is this, that you look at my face and you see that domestic violence doesn't just happen to one type of person. It happens to all types of people from all different walks of life.
In the future, I hope that there is an end to domestic violence. I believe that this is a lofty goal, but it is something that is doable, and I think it starts with continuing to keep services for survivors.
One thing I'd like to tell survivors of domestic violence is that you have such unimaginable strength inside of you. Working here at Sanctuary Families, I see the sacrifices they've had to make for themselves, for their children, the things they've had to do to survive. And I think at the end of the day, they have so much power and control inside of them. And we're just here, to help them along. It really, all the work comes from them.
There are so many people that come from all different walks of life that come into our offices. And there are a few themes that remain the same, again, despite color, creed, religion, ethnicity, and that's very often this latent feeling of shame and guilt and this persistent, how could I let this happen to me? How did I not know better? And if I could say one thing to victims of domestic violence, it would be that it's not your fault.
You are not alone. Support and assistance is out there.
Our pleasure in domestic violence through advocacy. That's a tool, the best tool we can use is advocate, to implement laws that are already passed in protection of the domestic violence survivors, and also having the tough conversations among ourselves, within your environment, with your children, with your friends, co-workers, as to how damaging domestic violence can be.
I pledge to have the tough conversations with people whose actions allow for a culture that contributes to domestic violence.
If one person or one group of people or any group of people, various groups of people are unsafe or being violated or being oppressed or being victimized, then we as a society as a whole are failing, because it just should not happen. We have legislation and laws in place for a reason, right? It's supposed to protect us and keep a society nurtured, growing, and well. And if any parts are being not addressed where healing needs to be taking place, then we're not doing our jobs. So I'm inviting everyone to become a part of this movement to address all these broken places and all the groups of people that are being victimized, to become a part of the movement that Sanctuary is starting, is growing in, and helping people to change the world and to have a new paradigm, to deconstruct the stories that create this to begin with.